Maido! Hi there, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to talk about body language. Rezen o master shimasho. This is the 8th year of the Presentation Japan Series podcast. We're beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku in Tokyo. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata mo Prezen no Tachijin. Plus, Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muru ni Suru wa Yamimashou, and all are available on Amazon. Through this podcast, I want to help you become a better speaker to be 1, clear, 2, confident, 3, persuasive, 4, highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan series. And every second Tuesday, the Business Tachijin no Oshie show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 384. 384. Today, we're talking about make the most of your body language when presenting in Japan. TikTok, Reels, Shorts, etc. are video snippets training everyone to micro-absorb information and stimulate. If it doesn't grab our attention in 3 seconds, we're off that screen and scrolling forward to find something more interesting. The modern instrument of torture for the presenter is the mobile phone. It whips our audience away from our message and us to the siren calls of the internet. Presenters must understand that how they start the presentation is that same 3-second space, which will determine whether the audience pays any further attention to us or starts reaching for their phone. When we are called up to start speaking, the uber judgmental audience assesses us for reasons to flee. The worst mistake we can make is to dive straight into the laptop screen and get bogged down in the logistics of getting our slides up on screen. Either have your slides up ready to go, or get the event host to remove their holding slide and replace it with your slide deck and your first slide. Do not become the mechanic and have your head down under the hood. Your body language is screaming, "I'm ignoring my audience," while you tap away on the keyboard looking totally absorbed by the screen. Instead, walk to the center of the stage facing your audience, command the room, and add in a dramatic pause of 10 seconds before you start speaking. You need guts to pull this off because 10 seconds of silence is long. Silence creates a vacuum which confuses audiences used to feasting on constant stimulation. It creates a positive tension in the room which stops people chit-chatting and being absorbed with each other. It forces everyone's attention to the stage and they mentally begin asking, what's going on? This is good because they are focused on us now and we can use our body language to project, I am so confident I can hold all of you in silence before I choose to start. This confidence is convincing and sets the right platform for us to launch forth from. There are physical and mental barriers separating the speaker from the audience. We must shatter that barrier. We do that with our stage positioning, body language, eye contact, gestures, and how we direct our voice. Depending on the venue, the stage could be at a distance far from the audience, or we could be able to walk inside the audience area. Find out more. We come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public courses, but we also do custom in-house programs. We do them in Japanese, we do them in English, we do them in our super safe classroom, and we do them live online. Our show today is being brought to you by, on the 5th of June, we'll have our 12-week Dale Carnegie course. On the 6th of June, we'll have our Leadership Training for Managers program. And on the 6th and 7th of June, we'll have our High Impact Presentations course. Go to our website, dale-carnegie.co.jp. That's Dale, D-A-L-E, Carnegie, CARNEGIE.co.jp. Lots and lots of value there for you. To do better in Japan, email me at greg.story, that's greg.story, S-T-O-R-Y, at dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have over 2,300 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, every Monday Tokyo time. Fridays we have the Japan Business Mastery Show, and on Saturdays we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from SMEs right up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Now every second Thursday we release the Business Pro television show. Get my best-selling books on business in Japan. The Bible on Selling, Japan Sales Mastery, that's Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, which is Anatomo Present no Tachijin in translation, plus Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Mudni Sunu wa Yamimashou. And all are available on Amazon. Welcome back. If we are far away, we need to work on projecting our ki, our intrinsic energy, to reach the farthest members of the crowd. We should be pushing our ki all the way to the back wall and sending our energy to the audience members in the cheap seats at the rear. We can also move to the apron of the stage and stand as close as possible to the audience, towering over them, to bring more physical presence to our talk. People talk about having executive presence, and this technique is that presence on steroids. We can choose to move to the wings of the stage and, standing on the apron, work on those members seated to the sides as well to bring them into our web. When we are far away from the audience, we need to make the most of our gestures to bring energy to the point we are making. You cannot get this effect if you have your hands behind your back, in your pockets, arms folded across your chest, or hands coyly protecting your groin from the audience. Open body language must communicate. I'm not afraid of you. I welcome you close to me to receive my message of hope. Come to me, come to me. The gestures add to this openness by using inclusiveness through our hands and the wide spreading of the arms. Many speakers in our training are afraid to use big gestures, yet once they use them and review them on video, they realize it doesn't look too much as they feared. In fact, they can see it makes for much better communication of the points of their message. We add to the power of the gestures by locking our eyes with each member of the audience one by one to drive in the message. The objective is the eye contact is so intense that they feel we're speaking exclusively to them, and there are only 2 of us in the whole room. An important point is to lock on to just one eye of the person you're looking at and not split the power of your gaze. By moving from one audience member to the next every 6 seconds, we use the power of our eye contact to fill the entire space in the venue. In 1 minute, we can make direct, intense eye contact with 10 people, and in 10 minutes, we have covered off 100 audience members. If the talk is 40 minutes long, we get to repeat this engagement intensity 4 times for every individual. We will fill the entire room with our presence when we do this. If we're at floor level amongst the crowd, we can use our physical proximity to connect with the people seated by standing over them at close range to drive home a key point. We can't stay there though because the pressure is too strong. We must retreat to a more neutral location to reduce the intensity. We don't just do this once. We go back in again and take a series of bites like a shark in a feeding frenzy. It's like a blast of unassailable energy, which we choose to release whenever we want to make a strong point and drive home our message. Body language, in combination with our full delivery onslaught, makes for a differentiated, powerful, memorable brand-building presentation. And that is what we want, isn't it? Did you get value from today's show? If you did, then share the love around with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Until the next episode, go out there and apply the learnings from today and become a presentations legend amongst your circle. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week. Remember, I'm in your corner, your go-to guy for soft skills training in Tokyo, committed to your success here in Nippon.